want you to stay home and stay off the roads if at all possible.
The city keeping snowplows on standby, while the high country welcomes those brave enough to make the trip.
Denver 7 is sticking with you and the storm as long as it lasts.
In case you don't know, snow is coming. Lots of it. This storm is still on track to blanket Colorado.
And earlier today, take a look. It passed over Las Vegas and Flagstaff, Arizona. That gave us a little preview of what we can expect this weekend.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. So here's what it looks like outside right now over downtown Denver.
You see some clouds out there, and eventually they could drop feet of snow in parts of our state.
So right now our team is out there keeping an eye on this storm, and we will stay with you every step of the way until it's over.
Leading our team coverage this evening is Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. And Mike, the storm's still a few hundred miles away, and you're already seeing some changing and shifting as it makes its way here?
And that's to be expected. The storm's got a lot of terrain to cover, including mountain ranges. And by the time it finally swirls out onto the eastern plains of Colorado, we'll have a much better handle on what this thing will do. But right now, the storm is about 350 miles away over about the Grand Canyon and heading closer to Colorado. Present time, it looks like perhaps the worst of this is going to be a little north of us. That's where the blizzard warnings have been issued across southeastern Wyoming, Laramie and Cheyenne, over towards Scottsbluff, Nebraska. But we have winter storm warnings here and farther on the eastern plains, winter weather advisories. The southwest mountains also under winter weather advisories. So we'll get our share of the storm, but it's not coming in tonight. It's going to be tomorrow, Sunday into early Monday. So it's slowed down just a bit. If you need to get around tonight, you'll have plenty of time to do it. I think the brunt of this storm hits tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and into Sunday afternoon. And so here's our timeline. Coming in tomorrow with the snow really picking up tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Travel will be difficult Sunday and into early Monday across the Front Range, I-25 corridor, and certainly up across southeastern Wyoming. We'll have plenty of roads closed. The heaviest snow is going to be in the northern foothills areas, up toward Rocky Mountain National Park, western parts of Larimer County, southeastern Wyoming. But we still could see a lot of snow here in the Denver area. I'll look at the latest snowfall forecast for your area coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Mike. And as soon as the snow starts to accumulate, City of Denver will get to work plowing the streets. Neighborhood plow drivers are standing by, ready to go. So is Denver 7's Russell Haythorn. Russell, if this storm is going to drop 2 inches an hour, as we've heard some predictions, don't expect the streets to stay clear for too long.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Shannon. While the major thoroughfares like these will be plowed often, the plan for side streets is just to hit them every 12 hours or so. As you can imagine, there are so many side streets in the city of Denver that they can only hit them once every 12 hours and then they have to move on. So while your street will be plowed, don't expect it to be clear to the pavement during the height of the storm.
During each 12-hour shift, they will take a single pass down the center of each residential street. Now keep in mind that these plows do not bring streets to the bare pavement, nor do they carry de-icer. However, they can be very helpful in clearing a path to the main streets and prevent deep ice ruts.
And that is the main point. The city of Denver launched this plan back in 2007 after they had disastrous back-to-back-to-back blizzards at the end of 2006 and the end of 2007, when there were deep ice ruts on the side streets that were more like canyons and weren't even passable for some vehicles. So the city is asking for patience. They say the side street plows will be out, but it will likely take multiple days in order to get them clear. So it could be Monday or Tuesday by the time you're able to get out of your neighborhood, if indeed this turns out to be a 1 or 2 foot storm. Just be patient with the city. That's what they're asking. I'm Russell Haythorn, live tonight. Back to you.
All right, patience is a good thing. Thank you, Russell. And as crews in the metro work to keep roads clear, another major concern is the highways and the interstates. CDOT says I-25 and I-70 could both close during the worst parts of the storm. The agency is telling everyone to get where they need to be tonight, preferably, and just be prepared to stay a while. And even though those roads could be dangerous at times, that isn't stopping people from heading to the high country. Denver 7's Liz GELARDI is live in Vail tonight. And Liz, the mountains are preparing for crowds this weekend.
Well, they are here in Vail. They're expecting a busy weekend. That is, if people can make it up here. But there is a lot of excitement about this storm. I mean, it is hard to believe nearly a year ago ski areas would be forced to shut down as COVID-19 started to spread. So this storm is also welcome news for an economy that's been hit hard.
It should be an awesome weekend.
You can almost feel the excitement.
I'm just looking forward to all the fresh powder that we're going to be able to hit up there.
Fresh powder is great if you're hitting the slopes, but if you're planning to hit I-70, not so much.
We'll probably get smashed with Denver people. You know how that goes. Fingers crossed, passes get stymied and they can't get up.
CDOT is telling drivers to get to their destination before the snow starts to fall. Officials warn if you're even thinking about trying to drive during the height of the storm, be prepared in case you get stranded. There could be safety closures on I-70 throughout the weekend depending on conditions.
Yeah, get there before the storm, watch the forecast.
At Vail Resorts, they're watching that forecast closely.
You know, our reservation system's in place, so we can manage the capacity like we've been doing all season. So I think we're ready for both the snow and a good spring break group of people here.
But some travelers are changing plans to get out of town before the storm.
So we were supposed to stay till Sunday night. We were flying out, but we're worried we're not going to be able to get out of here. So instead, we're flying out tonight.
But if you're lucky enough to be in the mountains this weekend, fresh powder is a welcome sight.
You know, winter's coming back tomorrow.
Winter is certainly coming back. It's kind of hard to imagine as well, just because it is so beautiful, gorgeous, warm up here right now. But that's why CDOT is telling drivers to take advantage of this nice weather, get to where you need to go and plan on staying there until this storm passes. Reporting live in Vail tonight, Liz Gilardi, Denver 7.
Little girl on the scooter is getting where she needs to go. Thank you, Liz. So back here in Denver, a warning from the mayor tonight.
Our team coverage continues with Denver 7's Lance Hernandez, and he is telling us why Denver's Mayor Hancock is urging everyone to just get where you're going and just stay there.
Please don't drive if you don't have to this weekend, so we can minimize any traffic issues as well as give our plows plenty of space they need to operate.
Denver Mayor Michael Hancock imploring residents to stay off the roads during the monster storm.
If you do have to drive anywhere, we ask you to drive slowly and to use caution.
And it's not just travel that's a concern.
Some of the most severe impacts that we need everyone to be aware of: the impassable roads and highways, as well as power outages impacting residences and critical facilities, and then structural damage to buildings and tree limbs.
What about the homeless? During the mid-February deep freeze, many homeless people opted to stay in their tents.
Here, baby, you got another bag, bro.
An army of volunteers made sure they had extra blankets, hand warmers, and food. Will those tents be able to withstand a foot or two of snow? BRITTA Fisher of the Department of Housing Stability says they hope they don't have to find out.
Our biggest encouragement today is for everyone who is outside to seek inside accommodation. That's why we've made every bed available, every motel option available.
She says they're working closely with partners to prepare for complications, opening up overflow shelters and providing motel accommodations. The mayor says that's critical for those in that vulnerable population.
Last report I got, lost 4 lives during that period of time that cold band came through Denver.
CDOT has the same message. If you have to travel, be prepared, have extra blankets, good tires, and food and water in case roads get closed and you get stuck.
And you can count on us. Denver 7 will be here throughout the storm with 24/7 streaming coverage. We have constantly updated forecasts, snow totals, live radar, and more. Just search Denver 7 on your Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire to start watching for free.
And starting tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, count on us to provide coverage throughout the whole weekend. In fact, we've even added a special newscast just for you Saturday night, 8 o'clock on Local 3. That is Channel 3 on most cable and satellite providers.
Next at 5, school snow days. What some of the metro districts are planning for next week.
Colorado updates its vaccine timeline.
This is a race to vaccinate the majority of our population.
When all adults are eligible to get their first shot.
This historic legislation
is about rebuilding the backbone of this country.
With the stimulus signed, billions of dollars are heading to state and local governments. We look at what kind of relief is coming to Colorado.